NBA fans, what's good? You are now rocking with the best. It's Bro Parrish here at Studio B. It is Playoff Central Live, presented by State Farm, along with two-time All-Star Carlos Boozer, NBA champion Rick Mahorn. We just witnessed the Boston Celtics go up 3-0, taking a commanding lead against the Brooklyn Nets. Jason Tatum was awesome, 39 points, playoff average is 25, so we upped that, but also a season playoff high, 6 steals. Check that, career playoff high, 6 steals. Rick, you know all about the defense. This game was won on the defensive side. Offense was good too. Your takeaways from the Boston Celtics in this victory?
They set the tone defensively. That's what you have to do. When you set the tone defensively in the playoffs, especially the way Brooklyn is struggling, and especially the way they got Kevin Durant, just don't know what they're going to do, when they're going to do it. It is just fun, even though, you know, I'm still not a Boston fan. I'm sorry, Cornbread Maxwell. Forget that. But I love it that, you know, defense is part of what they hang their hat on. And Marcus Smart sets the tone.
Definitely setting the tone. Booze, your quick reaction before we go to Steve Nash on this victory.
Yeah, just great job by Boston. They came into Brooklyn. Everybody thought Brooklyn was going to come out this game with more offensive firepower. They bottled up Kevin Durant, made it tough for the other guys. If they got Brown, their leading scorer, they're doing something right.
Indeed, Kevin Durant, bad night altogether. 0 field goal attempts in the last 11 minutes of Game 3. That's coming off going scoreless in the second half. 0 makes in the second half of Game 2. With that said, let's send it out to Steve Nash, who's currently at the mic.
So far through the first 3 games of the series, given what Celtics are doing.
I mean, it's crazy. It's like,
you know, I think unforced turnovers probably hurt us in all 3 games. Uncharacteristically just giving them the ball and they've run out on us. I think that would be the number one thing.
It's been the challenge in getting Kevin Durant. Obviously, he's a focal point of their defense, but we've seen him overcome it before with quality defenses. What's been the struggle from your perspective so far?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of everything. Clearly they're loading up on him, sending bodies to him, being physical with him. As a team, we shot 50% today. I think it's the unforced turnovers. I don't think Kevin has to go off. We shot a good percentage. We moved the ball. It's just the ones that we just gave up. Poor decision making, not connecting, simple passes, and they're going the other way. That's, to me, has been the difference in all 3 games.
Steve, it seems like every time you guys got it within one possession, maybe a little more, they answered. Just how much of that was maybe the energy exerted to get it to that versus maybe some other factors for them?
We do have we are small and have a hard time containing the ball. I don't think our help was great enough tonight. They drove us. I think that's been the second thing is that they've driven us. In the last 3 games, we haven't been able to contain the basketball.
You went with Blake in the third quarter. Just what made you do that, and what did you think of what he gave you?
I thought he played his ass off. He really hustled and worked and made a couple threes and gave us a lift. We needed a lift and some energy and some life and a little bit of belief.
Coach, Kevin played 46 minutes and only took 11 shots. Just what went into, or did you see something from Boston that led to that few field goals, or was that kind of the plan to not use him from a shooting perspective as much?
No, I think it's a bit of everything. I thought he was looking to find his teammates because he's been loaded up on, probably passed up on some looks just because he's expecting guys to come. But I thought he, tried to play the right way and. We just obviously struggled a little bit connecting passes tonight. And, when you lose a game by 6, 8, 10 points, when you're giving them the ball and they're running out and laying it in, it's tough to overcome. So, a lot of tough possessions where we just uncharacteristically gave it up and they're going the other way. And it's been a theme.
And following up, NBA history says no team has come back from down 3-0. Just what's the message to your guys now facing this task that no one else has completed?
Just character. It's about our character now, about digging deep and having pride and finding a way over the next 48 hours to come back ready to win on Monday night.
Following up on that, obviously everybody says, basketball playoffs is a game of runs back and forth. How surprising is it to you that basically after a second quarter run, you guys were never even really able to mount a serious charge after that point.
That was disappointing. Obviously, we didn't play a good game. Like I said, 18 turnovers, gave up 13 offensive rebounds, gave up 25 fast break points. Now a lot of those are on turnovers, but those were points of emphasis for us, and we lost on all three of those.
Steve, what do you think the byproduct of the unforced turnovers are? Is it just overthinking?
A little bit, yeah, I think so. You give the Celtics credit; they have a great defense, and I think it's made us second guess certain plays. We're not as decisive with the ball, and so we're not playing our best basketball. We're not being forceful with our actions, having that belief. We're second guessing a little bit, and so we're throwing a lot of passes that are second thoughts, and they're too good a team to do that.
Steve, looking ahead to Game 4, what do you think you have to do to get Kevin and Kyrie going again?
Yeah, I think there's, when we play with pace, I think we create a lot of opportunities. When we get bogged down, it's going to be tougher. They're going to load up on them. They're bigger at every position, really. So us trying to find space is much more possible when we play with pace. We play in transition.
Hey, Steve, I'm sorry if you were asked this already, but do you see any fatigue from Kyrie and Kevin in the series, or particularly tonight?
They've both got to be tired. Kyrie's fasting, and Kevin's had to play 40-plus minutes for 5-6 weeks after missing 6-7 weeks. We need him to play 40 minutes, or we wouldn't be in the playoffs, or at least we'd be in 10th in the play-in. So I'm sure that's taken a big toll on Kevin. He's carried a huge burden for us for weeks on end. Kyrie as well, since he's been playing home and on the road. And fasting is, I think it can't be easy. If I go play tennis and I haven't eaten, I feel like I'm going to fall over. So I can't imagine how he feels in an NBA playoff game. So I commend how hard he plays, considering, and how much minutes they both had to endure for us just to be in this position with all the injuries we've had this year and all the interruptions. So I feel for him. I feel for those guys.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, thank you.
From Coach Nash, now we go to Coach Udoka.
Kind of build that 15-point lead.
We got some favorable matchups. Got picked on a few things that opened up for us. Turnovers. We created a ton of turnovers. Obviously had 37 points off their 21, and a large part of that was in the fourth quarter. So, like some things, they played some different lineups, and we could exploit a few things as far as that. But credit to them, they kept battling back. I like the way we guarded overall, other than those late threes. So basically 25, 25, 22, 22 quarter, if not for the 3 late threes. So we defended at a high level and continued that in the fourth quarter.
I think that last run they made, you guys are just relaxing a little bit there?
No, they had we had really good possessions that we didn't finish off, whether it was offensive rebounds or late fouls. Bailing them out, it felt like we defended for 21, 22 good seconds, and then we bailed them out when they got stuck. So that got them back in the game a little bit there, and just finishing a few plays. Honestly, got their 3-point shooters got loose a little bit late with Patty Mills on those two. But like I said, other than that, they're not going to quit. They're going to keep pushing, and we just have to do a better job of. Yeah.
You guys disrupted them a stretch coming out of timeouts. Just what did you do getting into the lanes like that?
Yeah, our activity is great. Just like we've done all series, we want to have bodies in front of bodies, be really physical, and try to get in those passing lanes. Our deflections were crazy number, but like I said, 37 points off of 21 turnovers. That kind of tells us the tale of the game, especially late. Physicality was great, and that led to those breakout transition baskets for us.
How important was the 8 points in the last 48 seconds in the third quarter? They kept making runs at you, but that seemed to kind of put things back to normal.
Yeah, we like I said, we would play a good stretch or two and get that 11, 12 point lead, and then they'd bounce back. Some of our lack of rotations and turnovers on our end kind of got them back into it. So that was big going into the fourth quarter to get that cushion back up, knowing they were going to make another push. And I felt, like I said, our physicality and attention to detail on certain guys was great. Durant only shooting 3 threes and Irving going 0 for 7 on a lot of forced, tough, contested ones. That kind of tells the story of how we're defending and the pickup points and all the things that we've been talking about going into the last 2 games.
What do you think of Rob's performance, and how did he respond to the minutes?
He was great. He was fine. Could have honestly played more. Had no problems at all. His confidence is up. That's what we kind of wanted to see tonight. Lower minute game, although we had him slotted for more. He got to 15 and a half, and he felt comfortable, felt good, looked good, and impacted the game in a positive way.
Tatum's game, just overall, 39 points at one end, 6 steals on the opposite end. Just talk about how he's evolved as a defender. We know who he is as a scorer, but he looked like he was just really active on that end of the floor defensively throughout the night.
Yeah, he is, and he's been that all year for us. I talk about our team as a collective unit, being the #1 defensive team, and that takes everybody's buy-in. And he doesn't always get the credit for that because of his scoring prowess, as I mentioned earlier today. And, you look at Marcus and Rob and some of those guys, some things that Al and Jalen are doing. He's another guy that allows us to be who we are defensively and taking the challenge against Durant going into it. So, tremendous job in this series, but he's been that all year, solid for us. And like I said, I think that gets overlooked. That's a big part of his game that gets overlooked.
Every time they made on a run, either